of composers called the Animated Notation Community, which is a group of graphic notation composers who work specifically with moving scores, like that one, and my own work sometimes gets put into that category too. Okay, so I thought I'd talk a little bit about Warren's piece, which is the photograph of gravel there. Warren Burt is a Melbourne composer and academic, great thinker who came over from America in the 70s and set up a music school at La Trobe with Keith Humble, and now teaches jazz at Box Hill Institute in regional Victoria. This piece is a photo that he took from his mobile phone of gravel outside his house. Warren loves his contemporary technology, and he ran it through a scanner which is connected to a computer programmer called Curlagula, created by some collaborators of his in the United States. And what it does is it turns the pixels of the photograph into sound information. And depending on how fast you pass the image through the scanner is how long the piece is. And he remarks that if you pass it through quite quickly, you get a lot of rhythmic information. And if you go quite slowly, it sounds a lot more drony. And the version that we're playing here is around about 30 minutes long. And so the rhythms are very dispersed. And it creates kind of like a noise texture, I suppose. And he reads it from top to bottom, from the image from top to bottom, the scan. So it's very difficult to see, when you look at that image, how it would sound, and I find that the sounds are actually quite removed from the image itself. But I think the idea of turning a photograph into sound information is quite an interesting idea in itself, and quite different from the way many of the other works here are set up. Okay, this is a still from the little laptop piece that's in the window there by my colleague Lindsay. Lindsay teaches at WAPA with me in the composition department and was one of the founding members of Decibel. He went to university with me, so we've known each other for a long time. Lindsay's very interested in non-linear ideas about music. So, reading music is actually a very linear process of left to right. And he was interested in creating works that didn't use that as a reading or a creating mechanism. And this piece here is for 3 instruments. You can see they're written: cello, viola and violin. And it generates both an electronic component, like David Kim Boyle's does, but also provides information about what to play. So you choose a pitch, which is written in letters next to the instrument. You play it in a certain way, a texture or articulation, which is moving. If you look afterwards in the computer, you'll see.